day, learners! I am Archie. Welcome to another opportunity of fun-filled learning experience where you can learn at the comfort of your home.
Have your self-learning module and pen ready with you.
Let's activate first your prior knowledge. From the previous lessons we had, you were able to read, watch, and listen to stories about how a person can overcome problems and challenges. This time around, with the help of poetry and a poem, we will learn strategies on how to face challenges and decision making that will affect not only your future as a youth, but also as a citizen of our country. Poetry is a type of literature that conveys a thought, describes a scene, or tells a story in a concentrated lyrical arrangement of words, while a poem is a composition of verse that uses rhythm and often rhyme to create a lyrical effect.
Still having a hard time differentiating the two? Well, don't be. To further explain, poetry is the process of creating literary piece using words and languages in an artistic way, while poem, it is the arrangement of those words and an end result of the process. Meaning to say, poetry is an activity of poet's mind, and the poem is his written expression. This week, we will learn about giving expanded definitions of words with the help of our featured text, which is called Most Essential Learning Competency, giving expanded definitions of words with its learning objectives. First, explain the message of the poem from the learner's perspective. Take note of the definitions of learned vocabulary words. Identify types of definition and give expanded definition of words. Are you ready?
First, let's have a pre-test. Choose the letter of the correct answer and write it on your answer sheet. Number 1. Democracy means blank. A. Rule of the people. B. Rule of the few. C. Rule of the powerful. Or letter D. Rule of the leaders. Number 2. The blank is an elected head of a country. Letter A. Emperor. Letter B. President. Letter C. Senator. Or letter D. Supreme Court Justice. Number 3. The blank girl pitifully gazed at the delicious food displayed in the restaurant. A. Activist. B. Orphan. C. Peasant. Or D. Rich. Number 4. Which of the following best describes a representative of democracy? Letter A. All the citizens make the law. Letter B. Citizen elects officials to make the law. Letter C. All men, women, and children can vote. And letter D. One aristocrat makes all the decisions. Number 5. Another word for injustice is blank. A. Impartial judgment. B. Unjustness. C. Impartial vision. Or D. Insufficient reasoning. Did you find each word unfamiliar and hard to define? Don't worry, because this lesson will help you understand the unfamiliar words you encountered just a while ago. Let's have this activity. Use one word to describe each picture to be shown.
How did Perhaps, one way used was by defining the meaning of the word you perceive in the picture. Am I right? For example, this picture, two hands letting the dam to fly and free. This pertains to the word, you're right, freedom. Because by definition, freedom means the state of being free. Definition is the explanation of the meaning of a word or a language. The act of defining or making something definite, distinct, or clear. In your writing, you may be using technical words that some people may be unfamiliar with, like liabilities in business, or more abstract concepts like happiness, a word that different people have personal feelings or meanings attached to it. Thus, this calls for a certain term to be explained not by merely providing synonyms or listing examples but with much details or the use of expanded or extended definition. There are different types of definition: the formal, informal, and expanded or extended definition. Formal definition consists of three parts: the term being defined, the class of object or concept to which the term belongs, and its distinguishing characteristics. For example, blue is a color whose hue is that of the clear sky or that of the portion of the color spectrum lying between green and violet. In this definition, the word blue is the term, color is the class. The word blue belongs and whose hue is that of the clear sky or that of the portion of the color spectrum lying between green and violet is the distinguishing characteristics. Therefore, here the word blue is being defined formally. Now let's have the other type of definition, which is the informal definition. Informal definition explains an unfamiliar term using synonyms or antonyms, introduced by or, in other words, or like. Example: blue represents both the sky and the sea, and is associated with open spaces, freedom, intuition, imagination, expansiveness, inspiration, and sensitivity. Open spaces, freedom, intuition, imagination, expansiveness, inspiration, and sensitivity. This gives the likeness of the word blue, and so define it. On the other hand, another type of definition is the extended definition, which generally has components of both informal and formal definitions. However, as the name suggests, the author uses a number of other techniques to define a word, concept, or phrase, including memory of sound, sight, touch, hearing, or smell. To help us write the expanded definition of a term, the following questions may serve as a framework or guide. How does it work? What are its parts? How does it do? Can it be compared to anything familiar? How is it used? What is its origin and background? The techniques or approaches to making expanded definitions may be of a great help in answering the aforementioned questions. Be aware, however, the techniques to be used will depend on what is appropriate for the term you are trying to define or explain. Here are some techniques in defining words. Let us read the paragraph and observe how a definition is developed or expanded by taking note of the techniques applied.
get all the correct words? Very good.
Upon the skies are reddened roses of lies and deceit, a pure boast man in their hallowed offices, golden chairs and grinning fact. Men and women die of hunger, soldiers shot dead with blood that splatter, yet on their backs there was no shudder. Blankness of night, tacit, mute. Farewell liberty and justice. Heaven's frown to this lying bliss. I am deceived by higher men with the words of plain corruption. The crows will feed on the living, but we will never bow to them. We rejoice to embracing death, where freedom comes, free and no fret. Farewell liberty, farewell truth. In my own motherland, my root. Innocence and corruption, action and counter-reaction of a one divided nation. Let us cry out in bittersweet. How we slowly die in living, living in death yet believing that one day we will restore thee. Oh, good justice and liberty.
Now read and understand the poem. Letter A. What do you think is the state of the country being described? Letter B. Who do you think are the people being described in the poem? Letter C. Why do you think the poem is entitled Farewell Liberty? Explain. Letter D. As a student or citizen of the country, what do you think is the contribution you can give to make your country a better place to live in? Letter F. Why do you think liberty and freedom are important? Choose 5 words from the poem Farewell Liberty. Use it in a sentence and write them in your answer sheet.
I'm starving. Farmer's gone. His boy is lazy, and I get no food. What am I gonna do?
Pig? Pig, what's the problem?
Problem? Problem? It's obvious, isn't it? I'm starving.
That's not your problem.
Huh. What do you mean? I'm hungry, and that lazy kid isn't doing his job.
Right, but that's his problem. Your problem is where can you go to find some food?
Me? Find food?
Exactly. What are your options?
Well, I could stay here and wait.
That's one option. How's that working?
Yeah. If I could get out of here, I could maybe find food in the garbage pile.
That's another option. I noticed that the boy left your gate unlocked.
Yeah, but I've never just walked out of here. And there might not be any food there anyway.
Well, probably time to decide and do something. Stay or get moving.
Okay, it's my problem, right?
Yep,
And the garbage pile's my best option.
if you think so.
So I need to decide and act.
Seems like it.
All right. Okay. Well, here goes. Hey, sheep. This is great stuff.
Well done, pig.
Are you facing challenges right now? Do you see yourself like the pig in the video, worrying about his problem? Well, it's time for you to decide and do something. That's how